sir. Tuesday, February 15, 2022. Armani and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Stan Edwards in the house. It's Tuesdays with Stan. Braylon, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Right on time. Good afternoon.
Look at that.
See, that's how you do it.
Timing is everything.
Hey, so funny story.
Down to the wire.
If you're a football player, Dad can attest to this. One thing that we do extremely well is we got jokes. We got jokes because that locker room is vicious. And if you don't have jokes, you will get your feelings hurt. If you're sensitive, you will get your feelings hurt even more. When I just pulled up, parked my car to come do the show, I was running a little bit late. My apologies. Guy walks up to me. The guy says, Hey, LeBron, have you heard that one? I said, I have heard it. Have you heard the one about Charlie Weiss? And he was, you calling me Charlie Weiss? Listen here, fat boy, you want to be funny? I can take the joke. You better be able to take it back. And with that, I say, good afternoon.
All I know is when you play in the NFL,
oh man,
God promises you to have somebody who's stand-up comedian worthy in the locker room.
100%.
I've been in different locker rooms playing for two different teams, and there is absolutely one or more guys in there that will have you in stitches every day.
You got any good jokes for us, Dan?
Not that I can say on this line.
I got one for you, Tom Mazaway.
What do you got for me, Ryan?
Why did the invisible man not take the job?
I don't know why.
Because he couldn't see himself working there.
But I like that. Is that from the 9?
Okay. Now see, that would be a 9 joke. That's a good 9 joke.
How you doing, man?
Not a locker room.
Good, man.
Not a locker room.
It's Tuesday, man. It's my favorite day. My man Stan's here.
You see Mark Scott all the time on ESPN, so you just get an idea.
Here you go, Bray. Last one. Knock, knock.
No, see, you got the wrong idea what the jokes are. I'm talking about, I dog you. I'm talking about how you look, who you messing with. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Atch.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I basically just. Hey, man, let's start the show. The hell with all these knock jokes. Right. I'm joking.
Fair enough, guys. Big show for you today, guys. As always, lots of football talk today. So many different layers still to this Super Bowl win for the LA Rams. Matthew Stafford getting it done. He and Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald spent the day yesterday at Disneyland in California. Never in a million years did anybody think Matt Stafford would be there, but he was.
He's not here.
Did he have a fast pass?
Look, all this talk now about Matthew Stafford and, you know, his career. Richard Sherman took shots at him. We're going to get into all this. Richard Sherman took shots at him. No, he's not a Hall of Famer because I think a lot of people assume, if you look at his numbers, put a Super Bowl title behind it, that he is a Hall of Famer. That was a major topic today we'll get into. And Colin Cowherd had some interesting things to say about Matthew Stafford as well. And that's where I want to start the show, guys. I'm going to play this for you, and then we'll get into it. But here's Colin Cowherd talking about how good Matthew Stafford has been this year and throughout his career. Here's Colin.
Let me talk about Matt Stafford for a second. And we know what I'm about to say is true. It's self-evident. Where you land in the NFL will overwhelmingly dictate your success as a quarterback. Andrew Luck, Joe Burrow are exceptions where they overcome a lot of stuff. And let's be honest, the Bengals have some really good players. Bengals have a bunch of good players. Andrew Luck got his team to the AFC Championship with like one other Pro Bowler. But where you land matters. And after a dominating high school career and a great college career, Matt Stafford went to the Lions. So finally this year, for the first time in 13 years, he got a functional head coach and a functional owner and a functional GM and a functional roster. 1 year. And he already has, after last night, 3 game-winning playoff drives. In 13 years in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers has 2. But Aaron's cool, single, the chosen one by the media. But Aaron doesn't win enough in big games. He's not great late. Matt Stafford, 1 year in a functional organization. Look at his numbers across the board. 13 years of turmoil, tumult, and turbulence. And he got better playoff stats than Aaron. But Stafford has no drama. He's not jonesing for attention. He's not the single guy trying to find himself. He's an adult. He married his college sweetheart. He has adorable kids. His only celebrity friend is his buddy from high school, Clayton Kershaw. I wish we'd spend less time talking about people who create drama and more time about guys like Matt Stafford, who put his head...
And that's really the point, right? I mean, Matthew Stafford has been quiet here in Detroit. He really has never been a headache. You're battling through these tumultuous times here with the Lions, Braylon. But where you land matters. We've said that since we got on the air here. We said it with your career. You say it with a guy like Joey Harrington. You say it with anybody. Where they land in that draft matters.
It definitely matters, and it matters for a multitude of reasons. It's not necessarily just about how good you are, what type of talent you are. It's also just about what is the team at a glance. How is the owner? Like what type of owner do you have? Do you have an owner that wants to be around? Do you have an owner that's doing too much? Do you have an owner that doesn't mind spending the money if you're a quarterback so he can protect you, provide you with a left tackle, provide you with a left guard, put a running back, put a running game together? What type of coaches do you have? What type of cohesion do you have chemistry-wise with the general manager, with a head coach? What type of locker room are you providing? Like what are you doing as a franchise? That's the one thing. Then also just with the team, because if you're a good player and you play on a bad team consistently, your talents aren't going to be able to show. It doesn't matter how good you are at quarterback. If you play for a franchise, an organization that doesn't want to put guys in front of you to block, they don't want to put the right receivers or the right pieces in play, if they don't want to adjust as the league adjusts, because the league has changed since Matt Stafford has come into the league. It's changed a little bit. The landscape of the NFL changes about every 5 years?
Yeah.
The landscape changes every 5 years. So where you go matters. And the Detroit Lions have been very negligent. And let's not even go back so far. We talk about it all the time. Just in the time that Matt Stafford was here, they didn't adjust with the league. They didn't necessarily provide his left flank and other things. So where you go definitely matters to that. You jump in.
Yeah, so for me, let me talk about where you go matters secondly. But first, I have to totally disagree with Colin Cowherd on we should talk about people who have less drama. That's how a lot of us stay in business and have something to do. People with drama keep everything going. So, Colin, I disagree with you there.
Negativity sells.
Negativity sells, but we all want to talk about foolish stuff because foolish stuff is not normal. That's why we talk about it. Where you land matters. Larry Fitzgerald, first ballot Hall of Famer will be, told me, I wish I had the skills that Braylon had. My career is going much better than his because look who I had throwing to me. I had Kurt Warner calling me, then Carson Palmer. He said, listen, if I had the quarterbacking that Braylon had, I don't know. If I had Braylon's skill, my numbers would be off the chain. His numbers are not because of who he had throwing to him. Now, what's also interesting, too, is when we start talking about where you land, everybody's talking about Matthew Stafford today, about how can you compare him, be a Hall of Famer. Look what Aaron Rodgers has done. Look what Tom Brady has done. Look what Drew Brees has done. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees play on a team that's as sorry as the ones Matt Stafford played on. Yeah. Those guys never had to quarterback a team like that. If they had to consistently quarterback the teams like that, we would not be talking about them the way we're talking about them right now.
I know Colin compared Aaron Rodgers' stats to Matthew Stafford's. But I want to remind everyone here in Detroit, anytime they played Green Bay and they got Aaron Rodgers after the game, post-game talk, he always gave the nod to number 9 on that other side. Yeah, I remember it specifically. He going out of his way without anyone asking him and saying, that guy, that number 9 over there is something special. They all knew it. Everyone in the NFL knew what we had here in Detroit. The only ones that didn't know were most of us that went to the Lion games.
Because if you look at Matt Stafford's 12 seasons here with as a member of the Detroit Lions, the Lions had losing records in 8 of the 12 seasons that Matthew Stafford quarterbacked this team. You're not getting any Pro Bowl selections with a losing record.
The one he made, he won MVP.
Look, a couple of 9-7s, an 11-5, and a 10-6. Guys, this franchise has been abysmal, and because of that,
65 years.
We have not understood, appreciated, we've taken for granted just how good this individual player was. Braylon, you think about your own career. When you went to the Jets as opposed to staying with Cleveland, you start winning, you start getting accolades, you start getting to the AFC Championship. I mean, where you play matters.
Yeah, definitely where you play matters. Going back to the Pro Bowl argument, you bring that up, and you definitely brought up a great point. You got to win, to get to the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl, unless you have ridiculously freakish numbers, it's going to be the same two. They're going to have same two type of individuals. Conference. Let me start over. They're going to have two quarterbacks every year that are going to be the same quarterbacks in each conference, and then you'll have two new quarterbacks that have just a random freakish year. So in Matt Stafford's case, 12 years in Detroit, the NFC, that means he had to deal with Drew Brees and he had to deal with Aaron Rodgers for all 12 of those years. Not to mention you'll have two randoms like a Kirk Cousins who has a freakish year, or a Dak Prescott who has a freakish year, and they're winning because it's Dallas. You got to have him. So that's an unfair conversation as it relates to that. But good people versus bad people, I guess, because if you're going to say good, then you want to talk about bad.
Don't forget about Russell Wilson in the NFC
I forgot about Russell. Yeah. Go figure, Russell. But you say good people and bad people. It's one of those deals where it's like Kobe and Tim Duncan. You never talk about Tim Duncan. The only time they bring up Tim Duncan is if you talk about 2014 or 2013, the shot by Ray Allen. You don't bring up Tim Duncan, but guess what? Tim Duncan and Kobe have the exact same stats, minus the point volume that Kobe scored.
You never talk about Tim Duncan.
Never talk about Tim Duncan.
Going to get to a break, but when we come back, Richard Sherman says, no, absolutely not. Matthew Stafford is not a Hall of Famer. I want to ask you guys, is Richard Sherman right or is he wrong? We'll do that next. Armani and Edwards.
What was Arts Network? The bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Citron is an aspirational beverage, premium beverage for your lifestyle. It is an energy drink, it is water, it is revitalizer shots, but it is even more than that. These are meant for the memories. When you wake up in the morning, get yourself a revitalizer shot. It has premium ingredients, premium essential vitamins and nutrients that are necessary to make your day start off the right way. And then the water, oh my God, it is as pure as the day is gold. And then with the premium revitalizer shots mixed in with the energy, it is amazing. They are partners with the Detroit Red Wings as well as the Detroit Pistons and sold exclusively at LCA Arena. Man, you talk about wanting to enhance that lifestyle. I know when I drink that Citron, makes me feel good, and when I feel good, I want to do good. Drink it, live it with Citron.
Want to thank everybody watching on YouTube right now or wherever you are watching Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line, and everything else we have here on the network. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch. We're all over the place anywhere podcasts are found as well. Also, you can listen on the radio, The Roar, 99.1 FM, 93.5 FM, and 94.7 HD2 FM. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that like button. Yesterday, over 270 likes during the live broadcast. Well over 300 as far as the show yesterday. That's an incredible number for us, and we're going to continue to drive these numbers up. It helps us. It helps the network. Pushes YouTube helps push out the content with the interaction. So we certainly appreciate it. Guys, Richard Sherman talking about Matthew Stafford. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think that topic became really at the forefront after the Super Bowl win on Sunday. And Richard Sherman says no. Here's the tweet. It says, I'm going to talk about it on the podcast, but the Hall of Fame bar is incredibly low now, like a participation trophy. No all-decade team, no all-pro, no MVP, one Pro Bowl, not even MVP of the Super Bowl, never considered the best in any year he played. At least Matt Ryan has an MVP. Let me first start off by saying this about MVP of the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford is the first Super Bowl winning quarterback to throw 3 touchdowns in said Super Bowl and not win the MVP award. So there's that, if that matters at all to you. But Stan, I'll come to you first with this. Is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer now, or 4 or 5 years from now, tack on some more stats, do you believe he will end up in Canton?
So Richard Sherman had an interesting take. I don't know that I totally disagree with what he said, because a lot of people are saying, you know, Matt Stafford is a little bit better than Trent Dilfer, the game manager who won a Super Bowl, Brad Johnson, the game manager who won a Super Bowl, Joe Flacco, the game manager who won a Super Bowl. So he's a little bit better than that, but he's not Hall of Fame yet. But right now, see, I'm not real sure, because if I'm going to pick a team and I got a choice between Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford, it's not even close.
No.
It is absolutely not even close. Not saying Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. I'm saying that I think Matthew Stafford is consideration to be a second ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think he's first. If he has 2 more seasons similar to this without a Super Bowl win, he's absolutely a Hall of Famer, borderline first ballot.
I would say, first of all, well, I guess it's a question. I wouldn't be making a statement. Why do you care so much, Richard? Like, why the hell do you care so much? You don't have any ties to Matt Stafford. Right. But, I guess one of the words was there was a podcast, so I guess this has come up, so I digress. I mean, like Dad said, I don't disagree with some of the stuff he said. Like, when you think Hall of Famer, you think first ballot. You think of the guys that are the guys. You know, you think of the guys on that list that are immortalized. You think of Joe Montana. You think of Tom Brady. You think of, I guess you could say Tom Brady right now. You think of Steve Young. You think of Jim Kelly. You think of Troy Aikman. You know, you think of these guys. With the exception of Jim Kelly, all these guys have Super Bowl wins. All these guys have Super Bowl.
I would be interested in finding out right now if most of the people that were in the NFL, calling NFL games, coaching in the NFL, if you had a choice in their prime, picking a Matt Stafford or a Phillip Rivers, who would you choose? For me, it's not even close. Yeah. It's Matt Stafford.
Same.
Hey, Rye, do me a favor and just read Stafford's fourth quarter stats for me.
So and then I'll say something else.
Matthew Stafford in 2022, in the fourth quarter alone this season, 71% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a passer rating of 123.2.
And 3 wins in the playoffs in the fourth quarter on the last drive.
That's borderline sick. Very few guys wearing gold jackets today can even boast those kind of numbers.
Listen, man, this guy lived for this moment, for these moments. He always did.
Yeah, he did.
Except we were so trash.
Yes.
And so far back, he couldn't help us. He did as much as he could to help the Lions.
What I think people failed to realize is that the team that he was playing on, he realized that the game had to be won and lost on his arm. So therefore, a number of us, and I'm a huge Matt Stafford fan, as I said all the time, is he makes those throws where you say, what were you thinking? There's a ton of those. But he knows that if he is not trying to win the game, then he may end up losing it. But it's going to come down to his arm. And he was always okay with that. He played so often when he was hurt in so many different areas, even in his throwing hand. And he never told anybody, and he never complained. A lot of people don't understand
that. He played the second half of the year injured, right? We said that all year.
And you haven't heard that again. He didn't mention it like somebody with a toe injury or anyway. The other thing about these quarterbacks that was a little shade. The other quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame that are already wearing gold jackets, and then the 2 quarterbacks, well 3, that were given gold jackets too, and that would be Ben Roethlisberger, that would be Tom, and that would be Aaron Rodgers. Look at the talent around them. Like when you mention Joe Montana, how many gold jackets are you mentioning around him? When you mention Troy Aikman, how many gold jackets?
Half a dozen.
Jim Kelly, how many gold jackets?
Half
Terry Bradshaw, how many gold jackets?
Because you're making
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, the list goes on. Yeah. When you mention Matt Stafford, one name comes up.
3.
And a potent one. Well, Cooper Kupp, but no, because Cooper Kupp had one great year. He's got a long way to go to get to Hall of Fame. Calvin, Sue is the one potential. Calvin is the one that's going to get it. 1 in 12 years.
Dude, you bring up a great name, and it's about where you land. If you had one game to win, Matthew Stafford or Troy Aikman?
Matt Stafford, it ain't close.
Matt Stafford.
It ain't
exactly.
close.
That's what I'm talking about here. When it's all said and done,
I don't know about that.
Matthew,
I know you love Troy.
But again, Troy.
You take Matt Stafford.
You know why you don't know about that? Because Troy Aikman's play action pass, putting the ball on Emmitt Smith's belly, buys him 2 more seconds.
Right, exactly.
And that's a world of difference.
And 3 guys on that offensive line in Canton.
I can't look at Troy Aikman and say a
playmaker.
bad thing about him because he's a champion.
Right.
He's a champion.
He is.
There's nothing bad about Troy Aikman.
But again,
ever.
But you don't have to. We're not saying one's bad, one's good. I'm just telling you, I would take Stafford over
Matthew
Troy Aikman,
Stafford,
per
when
se.
it's all said and done, is going to be a top 7 passer all time in the NFL. You're keeping him out of the Hall of Fame.
And you're gonna tell me that doesn't matter?
I understand the game has changed, but Matthew Stafford, when it's all said and done, is going to have more passing yards and more touchdowns than Dan Marino. And I understand it's a different game, but also Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly threw for 3,000 yards in 8 straight seasons. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford has thrown for 4,000 or more yards in 9 straight seasons. So
The game has evolved.
Come on, the game has evolved, but also you look at, would you rather Matt Stafford try to win a game for you or Jim Kelly? These are Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that ultimately landed in places that had great teams and great organizations in a great period of their franchise's success.
Now, with that being said, and we talked about this yesterday, now that Matt has won that Super Bowl, now he's got that tremendous monkey off his back that we didn't even think was on there because we never thought he had a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So now that he's gotten that off his back, and now he's gotten all the love that he deserves, he and Kelly, they've gotten all the love that they deserve, we need to just stop talking about this because he's still only in year 13.
Right.
He's got a long time.
34 years old. He's got a
33.
good
Oh, that's right. He just turned 34.
He's got a good four more quality years left.
So I would just sit on it and wait. Like, look, I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he had a lot of unfair circumstances, but that's life. He was able to get out. He was able to escape, play good, regardless, game stats. He got out. He got to Los Angeles this year, won the Super Bowl. Let's just wait 4 years from now and revisit.
I don't think we need to wait 4 years from now.
One more.
I think by November of this upcoming season, he will be considered a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Quick correction, not 9 straight 4,000 yards, 9 times 4,000 yards. I just wanted to make that correction, but nonetheless, you understand the guy's a really
one
good
of
player.
them was 5,000.
Can I make another comparison to you? And Maz, you'll love this one. I think is Matthew Stafford kind of like a Lou Whitaker, in that if Lou Whitaker played anywhere else, he'd have been in Cooperstown 15, 20 years ago.
I don't know about that. I really don't. I think that might be a tough comparison.
Yeah, I don't think Matt Stafford's going to go to a party and do the splits and get hurt and he can't play baseball and football anymore. You guys have heard that story?
Lou got himself a bad rap.
Yeah.
This guy is as squeaky clean as they come. You hear Braylon all the time.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything out of Matthew Stafford except positivity.
And there's nothing
Peace
wrong
and
with
love.
that. There's nothing wrong with that.
So let me ask you guys this question, and Maz, I got to give you and Alex credit for this. If you could trade Jared Goff, this year's number 2, and next year's first-round pick of the Rams, would you trade that right back to L.A. for Matthew Stafford? I want to ask you guys if you'd do that. Make that trade all over again, just in reverse.
Now.
We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
Forward Sports Network, the bottom line.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers.
Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 p.m. Join Woodward Sports and Big D Energy for the grand opening of the Berkeley Chili Peppers Tanning on Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile. Come hang and join the Pepper Club. Best deals on unlimited tanning.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Guys, Guardian Alarm gets it. Whether you're home or your business, a good defense helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing. It says stay out. That's right. And ironically enough, that's the phone number to call. 1-800-STAY-OUT. 1-800-STAY-OUT. Stay out. Let them know that Woodward Sports sent you. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. We certainly thank them and all our sponsors here on Woodward Sports Network. Guys, would you make that trade again? Matthew Stafford. So, Maz, you have a caveat to this.
Yeah.
You want to give the Rams Goff and their 2 picks back. So, 32 this year.
Originally, I said I'll just give them Goff and next year's number 1.
You're going to have to do more than that because the Rams wouldn't do it.
No, I gave you a Super Bowl. So you got to pay me for this year.
To get the guy back that won them the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I'll take your crappy 32nd pick in the first round. But next year, you can have your number 1 pick back, and we'll give you Jared Goff back. Now Matthew Stafford comes here and tries to win a Super Bowl. Tell me Matthew wouldn't take that deal in a minute.
I don't think he would take
the Rams.
Yeah, so let's be clear so everybody's listening. We're bringing Matthew Stafford back to be the quarterback of the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
In a heartbeat. Ford Field would be on fire every week. He would need police.
Ever.
He would need police escort to the stadium, and he'll get a ticker tape parade after every game, win, lose, or draw.
Hey, you know who else is going to need a police escort? Stan Kroenke and Sean McVay. If they send Matt Stafford's ass back
They won their Super
they would
Bowl.
never do it. It doesn't matter. Now you got to continue it. If we're playing the hypothetical game, yes, of course I would do it. I would do that.
Sure.
I would do that in a heartbeat too. I think with Brad Holmes, I think he's sneaky enough where he can, as my dad liked to say, he's a witch when it comes to his job.
Yeah.
He can get in the picks and he can, maneuver some things around. So I give him credit there. But if you're talking about the Rams not gonna do that deal. Why would
Wait
they
a
do
minute. Next year, the Rams are going to lose who, Ryan? More than likely.
So here's the deal. Look, let me put the Burkett tweet up on the Lions picks this year. If you look, this couldn't have worked out any worse for the Detroit Lions this year because that first-round pick of the Rams is a number 32 pick. I mean, the worst first-round pick you can ever have that happened. But that 2023 pick is an interesting one, guys, because I do believe the Rams are in for a bit of a fall here. I know he said he's not leaving, but I'm not buying the fact that Sean McVay is coming back to coach next year when he's staring at a $10-12 million payday to not ever have to lose another game in his life. I know he's a young man, but if you lose McVay
and Donald,
and you lose Donald, if you lose McVay, you lose Donald.
And Whitworth.
Then you lose your left tackle, Whitworth. OBJ, 2 ACL tears to the same knee.
Robert Woods, ACL.
Robert Woods, ACL tear. I mean, that's one for him, but
your running back's coming back from a what do you call it?
OBJ it's a really tough injury for him.
Yeah,
the second one on the same knee. Your mind can tell you want to do it, but your wheel doesn't work anymore.
No.
So the Rams are in, to me. I mean, Von Miller's getting a little older.
He's done.
Jalen Ramsey didn't look all that great. Best cornerback in the league, no offense. I think the Rams are in for a little bit of a fall here, maybe even a steep fall.
They're done.
I think here's what's interesting, and I'm going to come back to where the Rams may go. I thought it was very interesting that other than the call, which was a legitimate call where Jalen Ramsey got his face mask pulled, Joe Burrow did not fear him. It's clearly they were rolling coverage the other folks'
And neither
way.
did Tom Brady, by the way.
No, they didn't. They were rolling coverage, obviously, toward Jamar Chase. And whoever Jalen Ramsey was on, they were going right at him because they saw something they could take advantage of. I think the Rams are in a position to do that. But what I think they will do is they will always keep offensive weapons around Matt Stafford, because I think that's what Sean McVay lives for.
Yeah, when it comes to Jalen Ramsey, he had a moment. Mike Evans, that was kind of the Mike Evans situation was at the end of the game. Lapse in concentration, he got beat. Call a spade. Then obviously with Jamar Chase is a monster. He beat him on one play. Outside of that, I'm not saying my man Jalen Ramsey got beat up at all. But it could be interesting. Now you have me thinking about Sean McVay and it relates to him leaving. He knows all of that. He knew all that going into the season. And who says that Sean McVay, because everybody keeps falling off that Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay tree. Who says the conversation in Cabo with Matt Stafford said, "Hey, look, I'm going all in on this last year." He said, "Because I'm thinking about taking some time away after the season coming up. Big Witt's leaving after this year. Aaron's leaving after this year. But we're gonna put all our chips and try to get you here this year. You trying to come here and win the Super Bowl? I'm letting you know now that I'm not coming back after this year. But do you want to come and I can at least set you up with a good space, put you out here in L.A., and obviously coaches on staff. We got Kevin O'Connell, who obviously went to Minnesota. I'm not sure they didn't have that conversation now that you got me thinking about it.
Let's go Matthew Stafford's head right now. Mm-hmm. He's at the top of the heap. I mean, they hit gold, plutonium. They love their time here. Look what they did here in Detroit. But they didn't have the team around them, the coaching staff around them, the general managers. Nothing really worked for them. Just be Matthew Stafford for one day now. Let's go to Cabo again. This time, he's going to sit with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and Sheila Ford Hamp and that crew. Yeah, a little older skewed from last year's Cabo trip. But they say to him, come back,
the golden nugget.
Come back. Look at this offensive line. We got you, DeAndre Swift. We got a new kid, Jamar Jefferson, coming up.
To?
We've got Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's the enticing point.
We're going to draft second. We're going to get defense for you. You're going to get your Ndamukong Suh defense back.
Once again, who am I throwing the ball to?
They're going to draft a receiver. Maybe there's a Jamar Chase out there.
I'm not sure.
I ain't buying that.
I'm not sure it's not. Now that the football side of it is taken care of and the Super Bowl side of it is taken care of, I'm not sure now it's just not about quality of life. You like living out there in L.A. and your $20 million house.
I want to come back, but if I'm a football player like Matthew Stafford, I'm 34, probably have 6 more years to play if you protect me.
Don't tell you. Now, hold on. If you're going to have a conversation, Maz, be honest. It's no way in hell. Even you, it's no way in hell. You will literally look back at the Detroit situation and say, I can see myself going back to that cold-ass city with snow on the ground and all that. I can see myself leaving this city behind that's about to celebrate me for the next 30 years. I can leave all that behind to come back to beautiful Bloomfield Hills, which is beautiful. But, by the way, a team that's still trying to figure it out. And your enticing point is, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Get the hell out of here. Is what I would tell them.
I'm sorry I don't have this information in front of me. I don't, so I need your help. What month did Matthew put that massive house on sale?
That was during the season.
It was like December, I believe.
And he was still here.
Yeah.
To your point, I'm not so sure that's so far-fetched that he wouldn't come back here. I don't think he was selling that house because he had planned on leaving. He was selling the house for other reasons. And I think Matthew is wired a little bit differently. I think he will enjoy the Hollywood stuff, but I think a year of that, he might say, you know what, this is just not who I am.
He couldn't even get the home crowd to shut up while he's calling an offensive play. They don't have any fans.
No.
That's a good point, too.
Yeah, so I don't think that's
too
far off.
You want to come here? You'll have a statue next to Joe Lewis's fist.
Yes.
On Woodward.
Yes.
Yeah,
if you win a Super Bowl for the Lions.
Yes.
Guys, if you think about where the Rams are, though, now, they are in kind of a unique space here because you are going to try. Everybody wants to try to run it back, right? That's the hot phrase.
Happening.
It's not. There have been 4 teams since 1981. What are we? 2022. So just go back 40 years. 4 teams have repeated. The Denver Broncos, the San Francisco 49ers, the New England Patriots, and the Dallas Cowboys. Denver, San Francisco, Dallas, and New England. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate you, buddy.
Who's better than you?
Who's better than you, Stan? Drop my paper. Stan got it for me. I appreciate you, buddy. But again,
it's the least I can do.
Do you put the LA Rams in that box? One of those teams?
No way. They're lucky they won this year.
I agree with you, man. The only thing about it is in the NFC, it is wide open. And the Rams today, as currently constructed today, the clear favorite in the AFC.
How interesting would the NFL be if Tom Brady comes back to the Detroit Lions? I'm sorry, if Matt Stafford comes to the Detroit Lions and Tom Brady goes to the LA Rams. How interesting would it be? Because I've been reading some things that it's not a foregone conclusion that Tom's done.
He's going to Niners.
He got mad at me when I said
Stan, he's a 49er.
I know that's where he's from. That's home.
I'm not messing with you, man.
But I think Giselle wants to be a little bit further south than Palo Alto.
What I was gonna say is no. I agree with Dad, which I gotta keep doing, but he has to say something for me to disagree with. The Rams aren't in that category, and the reason why is if you take one player off the Rams, if you take one player off the Rams, they're not in the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald not only got them there, won the Super Bowl for them. You take the most dominant force that we have seen since Reggie White. If you take him off If you take him off that team, they don't get there. If you take him off the team, they don't win the Super Bowl. I mean, you could say that about a couple other players, but I think in spite of, you still can win. Aaron Donald, you take him off, can't do it. Oh, TB12?
Well, I think if you called Aaron Donald in the meeting and say, hey, I don't know if you can see this or not.
TB12.
Hey, Aaron, we got TB12 coming. Can you give us one more? I think he'd consider it.
Speaking of Aaron Donald, I want to ask you, I want your dad's perspective on this one, too, because I know where Maz stands on it. I don't remember Lawrence Taylor.
I do.
And I know you do. And I know you do. I'm just not there to remember how good Lawrence Taylor was. I see the highlights, but I'm just not there yet.
I think there's 4 names that, cause I know the T's. I think there's 4 names in there, and we can do that when we get back.
Is Aaron Donald, does he rival LT as the greatest defensive player ever? Well, is he even close, or is he even better than that? I know where Maz stands on it. I want to get your perspective on it, Stan. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
You're out of your mind.
I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with HOF Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhoffirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. It's where I put my bets in. I hope you do as well, especially if you're a first-time gambler online. Well, you're missing out. It's a lot of fun. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the promo code Woodward. That's right. And they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. NBA, NHL, you can bet anything you want. Soccer, UFC, the works. NFL is in the rearview mirror. I'm sure they'll have some combine stuff for you to bet on. That's in 2 weeks in Indianapolis. But the NBA All-Star Game this weekend, the Slam Dunk Contest. Do it all on MyBookie.ag. Remember, use the promo code Woodward to double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, call the 1-800-277-7117.
Right back here, the bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Stan Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got Alex Mayer, Sam Reynolds with us. And we've got you with us as well. Big numbers on YouTube. Again, would love it if you are watching on YouTube to hit that like button. Let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. That would be amazing as we move forward here on the show today on this Tuesday. But Stan, I want to come at you. I asked the question before the break. LT, Aaron Donald. Where would you characterize Aaron Donald as it relates to Lawrence Taylor?
So I have a Lawrence Taylor story. So I'm playing with the Houston Oilers. I'm in the backfield with one of the hardest running backs they ever walked the planet Earth, Earl Campbell. I'm at fullback. Earl's at tailback. We run, and Lawrence Taylor is the will linebacker. He's uncovered. The tight end's not over him. So we were running Earl off tackle right. If you're watching on YouTube, it's to your left. We're running Earl off tackle right. My job was to cut the will off to make sure he didn't come across the formation and get Earl. So when the ball snapped, the quarterback reverse pivot, and I went to cut Lawrence Taylor off. Earl went to the right. And I know how agile and great of an athlete that Lawrence Taylor is. So you don't cut him at his ankle and knees. I cut him just above his waist. And as I went to dive to start cutting him, he went airborne. He went directly over me, grabbed Earl by the back, and slung him to the ground. He got up, looked at me, and winked and went back to the huddle.
That's why they call him Superman.
Well, we know
That's a true story.
We know who's number one now.
So we get to the sideline, and the dumb running back coach we had starts cussing me out.
Yeah.
I don't care who he is. You better block him. We had an offensive lineman that went up to the running back coach and said, "Are you crazy? We can't block him. I expect him to block him."
Yo, timestamp that one.
So, to answer the question, Aaron Donald's in the conversation. He's in the conversation because where he sits and plays, although they move him around a lot, and sometimes he is playing on the outside, but he never comes off the ball and not have any contact with somebody over him. You know, Lawrence Taylor had a lot of times where he had to run free or got a running start, and he could avoid people. Aaron Donald's in the conversation. He's awfully good to be able to play where he's playing and affect the game the way he does.
First of all, every time I hear that story, it's like the first time. It's always
so
like the
good.
first time.
That is great.
Clearly, I've shared that more than once.
Hey, as you should.
Can you tell it to me again?
Keep sharing it.
Mansfield's movement over there.
He does, definitely. I definitely see that table. Derek Thomas, life cut short, tragic car accident. He was just ridiculous at what he does. That's why you got to put him in there. I think it's kind of like fear. It's like the unknown. Reggie White. Oh, my God. Like, I was watching film of Reggie White because they've been talking about this now since the Super Bowl, so I've been kind of just watching film, who's better. Reggie White was a man-child of a different category, and I think he's third. I think he's a strong third. But the reason why I got Aaron Donald 2 right now is exactly what Dad said. Aaron Donald can play on the outside and get 20 sacks. Aaron Donald's the only interior defensive lineman to have 20 sacks or more. He had 20 playing over the ball. He had 20 sacks playing over the ball.
Crazy.
He takes double teams, triple teams, quadruple teams. It doesn't matter. When he's pissed, you can put the whole damn squad on him. He's still going to get to the play. Sean McVay said something, and everybody's seen it. It's gone viral. Sean McVay, the last play of the game was 4th and 1. All the chips are on the line. He's mic'd up. I don't know if he said it because he was mic'd up, but I don't think he was thinking about being mic'd up in this particular moment. He said, I know Aaron's going to make a play. He's 99 is going to make a play. And by God, he didn't just make a play. He made the play. He's a special child, man, but I think he's 2. I think LT deserves to be number 1, Maz. You appreciate that.
Thank you.
And then I think Reggie White is 3.
Because one of the things we do, one of the pitfalls we all fall into is
Ray Lewis
the latest is the best.
Right.
And it's not always the case that the latest to do it is the best to do it.
Ray Lewis was pretty good.
Ray Lewis was really good, but I still believe that Aaron Donald affects a defense more than Ray Lewis did. Or excuse me.
Ray Lewis had some people in front of him that really allowed his game to just flow.
Samari Rowe.
Yeah.
Oh man, we ain't talking about 55. What was his name? That's the Suggs.
Yeah.
Starks. Dwayne Starks on that team.
Yeah.
Interesting. Also, guys, 100 million people watch the Super Bowl on NBC, and I always ask the question, what are the other 230 million people doing on Super Bowl Sunday? Like, what do you do on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
There's like 330 million people in the country.
This is a national holiday. 200 million, you found something else to do?
What are you doing?
The times have changed. Like back in the day when we were watching the Super Bowls, well, you guys started before me, but you're talking about the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s. It was a lineage thing. Like it wasn't a ton of networks when they first started. It wasn't all this in streaming. It wasn't ESPN. It wasn't people not caring. People care about other things now. Like you were raised to watch football and God in Texas, as they used to say. Like literally, you were raised to watch Sunday football with your pops. Mom's cooking in the kitchen. She's cool. On Super Bowl Sunday, everybody's coming over. Like, then what do you do with that? You start putting that to your kids. Now, your kids are continuing the tradition and so on and so on. Now we've gotten away from that because there's a ton of more things to do in this world. Like, literally, there's crypto and all this other BS. Like, there's a ton of things to do that don't involve sports. That's why those numbers are going to keep going down, if I'm being honest.
Pre-game in my house, I get up on a Sunday morning, church, come home, I start watching my old Super Bowl highlights because I got about 30 of them on my DVR.
I didn't know you played, Maz.
I did.
That's what I'm talking about.
I did. Super Bowl 1, I start at right through Super Bowl 10 with the Steelers and the Cowboys. Then I'll jump around after that for my favorite ones. Then my wife will come in the room. She's cooking, come in the room. She wants to see what's on the main channel. She wants the pregame crap. She wants Kelly Stafford. She wants to hear the president interview. I don't like any of that crap. I just like watching.
Did the president get interviewed this year?
Yeah, he got interviewed. I didn't watch it.
Was he awake?
Yeah, barely.
Sorry.
It's okay. But nonetheless.
Sorry.
Nonetheless, I don't even know if we picked the right teams. So I love Super Sunday. I don't know what else. There's nothing else to do. Super Sunday, man. I cannot believe it's not 2 million people, 20 million, 200 million watching the Super Bowl. It's 200.
It's just a ton of other interests. Like, Sam, you're part of like the younger. Well, now Sam's like 33, but Alex, you're part of the younger generation. What are other people doing? Like, there's other things like going on. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I hear the Puppy Bowl goes on at the same time as the Super Bowl.
What a jerk.
Don't be ridiculous.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I'm serious. People. I asked my grandma the other day.
Westminster Dog Show.
Oh yeah, those used to
No, but that is on for a reason, though. That Puppy Bowl,
like,
but
his grandma's
yeah,
watching.
if you do add somebody, I skimmed by it. Mr. Sammy, 112 million when you add the streaming. Yeah, so about 10 million people watched on streaming. So 112 million, you're still looking at 220 million that did something else.
I give you an example. Look at SportsCenter. SportsCenter now has a Instagram page, and on their Instagram page, they legitimately don't talk about sports. Like on SportsCenter's Instagram page, all the little videos, it's all the viral dumb stuff.
Right.
The viral dumb things that people are doing, trying to get on the internet, trying to get their 15 minutes or 15 seconds of fame. That's what SportsCenter, the leader in worldwide sports as they know, that's what they're putting on their social media content. The fact that it's not all Ben Simmons and Harden and LeBron and Matt Stafford and his story, the glory, is Aaron Donald's going to retire. The fact that they're putting other stuff on there that has nothing to do with sports kind of lets you know what I'm talking about.
Stan, I want to bring this back to the Detroit Lions as we head to another break here, if I could, because I said something yesterday, and I want your take on it as well. I do believe, I think you've got to legitimately put the Matthew Stafford thing in the past now, and you've got to move forward. And I believe that Brad Holmes, Chris Spielman, and Dan Campbell are the right crew to get this thing moving forward. But what does a Matt Stafford Super Bowl win do to this organization to fuel them as if they needed any more fuel to finally get it right? I want to ask you that on the other side. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Gypsy Vodka, there it is.
Hey, it's Gypsy Vodka
We're
back
reaching
again.
for
Check
some.
this out. Gypsy Vodka may be in the building yet again. The All-Star game is coming up. The Skills Challenge and the All-Star, that's coming up on Saturday. Perfect time to get you some of that Gypsy Vodka with its gluten-free bad self. Mike and Adam, you got it right on the 50th time with this. Kind of like Von Miller getting Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl 50. Now he's got another ring. But guess what has a good ring to it? Gypsy Vodka and Centron. Oh, man, that sounds good to me right now. I'm telling you, it's a very good product. Great product, by the way, because it is infused with our artesian spring water, as it is corn distilled 6 times with that same product. Go to your local neighborhood liquor store right now and ask for Gypsy Vodka if you want some vodka. Tell them Braylon Edwards sent you, and they may give you a discount. If not, it might work the next time. But if you're going to drink, please drink responsibly.
Over 40 television markets metered for the Super Bowl. The city of Detroit had the second highest ratings in this Super Bowl, only behind Cincinnati.
Interesting.
What does that tell you, guys? This city is starved for a Super Bowl championship. They had their former quarterback in the game. You see this rating.
Well, last year, you got to remember who was number 2 last year, though. The Patriots were number 2 last year.
Yeah,
Boston was number 2 last year.
There you go. But nonetheless, our former quarterback is in the game this year.
Right.
What does a Matt Stafford Super Bowl win do as it relates to the Lions?
Well, for me, I think it does a couple things. First of all, does Brad Holmes and Lions general manager, as well as Dan Campbell, do they stick with whatever their strategy is to build the team, or do they look at what happened with Matt Stafford and alter what their plans are? So whatever the outcome is, we don't know what their intentions were to begin with. Let's hope they're good intentions and they're really going to be very, purposeful for what they're trying to do. I'm just hopeful that they understand what it takes to build a team, and their strategy and philosophy is not swayed one way or another by what happened with Matt Stafford. Because here's what I will agree with them with. Matt Stafford was not going to work here. He was not. At least not now. If he comes back, he might work because it's just different.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to work here. So in some regards, it made sense to get rid of Matt Stafford, to trade him, I should say. Now, can these guys really put together a strategy and plan to really look forward on how did Cincinnati do this again? How do some of the other teams? I think it's less about losing Matt Stafford and watching his success. It's more about, do we have a strategy? Do we stick to it? And do we really understand how to build a winning culture here?
Yeah, the one thing, because people keep bringing up worst to first, and Cincinnati is worst to first, and like when they bring Cincinnati up, it's like it's just you talk about trending. It just happened. It's right in your face. You see it. You're like, well, they had number 1, and then they came back with number 5 pick the following year, or number 4, whatever. I think Jamar Chase went 5, so they had 5, and they had number 1, and here they are in the Super Bowl. You got to be very careful about using Cincinnati as the model, because they snuck into the Super Bowl this year. Don't forget Cincinnati 10-7. Cincinnati could have easily been 7-10 this year. They won a couple close games. Green Bay missed some field goals. Max Crosby, that's why I think he's hanging them up. They could have been really bad this year. Offensive line was terrible. Defense was bad early in the year. Hendrickson came on strong for them. Like, if they didn't have Hendrickson, Lord knows what would happen. So you got to be careful about using that model in terms of Cincinnati. But being able to adapt is key. Being able to adapt your plan, like that's going to be key. Right now, they have some things working for them in the front office. Brad Holmes, you see a lot of those picks, team that work out towards the end of the season last year. But if a big move happens and it's something that's not on your radar, it's something that goes against your policy, but it's a big move that you got to make, sometimes you got to throw your policy out the door. You got to make that move.
I don't believe that anybody sneaks into the Super Bowl. I think only way I think someone maybe kind of gets to the Super Bowl that don't belong there is because they got penalties along the way that were game-changing type penalties that allowed them to advance. I think if you get to the Super Bowl, however you got there, you've earned the right to be there. But what I do think that the Lions have to be careful about is just trying to use somebody else's blueprint, to your point, and then try to build our team off of that. There are too many different philosophies, players that don't match to try to build off everybody else. Because that's what you see when you're talking about teams going to the young, hotshot offensive coordinator to be my next head coach. Because a lot of teams, they just flavor of the month. What are they doing now? They did that. We should do that too, and it doesn't work. Most of the time, it doesn't work.
My apologies. What I more so meant to say was I think teams can sneak into the playoffs. Now, once you get into the playoffs, it's all about you. Because when I was with the Jets, my first year, we snuck into the playoffs. Like, everything happened right for us to get in that playoff.
Same thing for the Giants when they beat the unbeaten Patriots.
And by the way, same thing for the Bengals against the Chiefs this year.
Like even with that, like towards the last game of the year, like we lost the 15th game of the year. We lost the 14th game of the year. We won the last game of the year. Dad was there. We got beat against a terrible Falcons team. We lost to a horrible Jacksonville team that year. I think that might have been Maurice Jones' last game or something like that. We were bad. We had some good players. We had the number 1 rushing game in the NFL, but we were a bad team. But once we get, not bad team, we had some bad moments. Once we got in the playoffs, to Dad's point, nobody wanted to see us. We were like that scrappy team.
Hottest team wins.
We whooped Cincinnati. We beat the Chargers convincingly. We were leading the Colts at halftime of the AFC Championship. So to your point, you get in how you get in, but once you get in there, it's about who wants to win.
It's funny you say hottest team wins. I can't stop thinking about Michigan. If they keep playing after the Big Ten championship, you know, if
different game. It's a way different game.
If that would have worked out a little bit differently,
they might have still lost, but it would have been a different game.
Stan, before we get you out of here, do you have a thought on Frank Beckman, who passed away earlier this year, voice of Michigan football for over 3 decades.
Yeah, longtime friend, voice of Michigan football. Frank Beckman is one of the few conservative guys that I listen to that I really believe in and like what he did. I don't listen to many of them. There are some besides Frank I do. Frank Beckman was the voice of Michigan football. He was he delivered the game with integrity. He was such a good man, and I love listening to him on talk radio too. Again, that's not a station that I pay a lot of attention to, but when he's on there, it always made sense for me.
Yeah, just one of the good. I mean, we heard some of the calls yesterday, whether it was the Woodson punt return against Ohio State, whether it was the clock game. Yep. Oh, it's thievery, thievery. You know, just so many.
He read the referees' names after that game.
Did he? You were in the car.
That's Frank Blackman.
I rode him home. I drove him home after that game.
Exactly. Oh my goodness!
Let me ask you a quick question before you get out of here, Dad. I've been thinking about this lately, and they've been kind of talking about it, like under the radar, though. I think I've been watching it more so on the laptop as opposed to ESPN or Fox or anything like that. Do you think needing a running back to win a Super Bowl has become extinct? Like, it's gotten to the point now where, like, both teams in the Super Bowl were under 80 yards rushing. The year before that, neither team had a 100-yard rusher. Like, it's getting to the point. The last 100-yard team would have been San Francisco, and they lost. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs didn't have a 100-yard rusher neither time that they were in the Super Bowl. Is it getting to the point where is the running back undervalued, or is it to the point where you don't have to have one to win?
You got to be careful about saying, well, we don't necessarily need a top-flight running back or a high-paid running back for our running attack to do that. What you don't need to do is have a valuable running back available to you and you pass by him because you think you need someone else. If you got a player you think that can play, that can control the game from that position, you got to get him, because a running back in this league is worth his weight in gold because he can control the clock, he can shorten the game, and he makes play action pass that much more better. So to the fact that to the extent that teams are winning Super Bowls without not necessarily not having a 1,000-yard back, but having a 100-yard back rush or 100 yards rushing from one back in a Super Bowl game, there is some truth to that, but be careful. Do not pass up a good running back because you don't think you need him.
That's a great question, Braylon, because the threat of having a running back, too, can be every bit as effective. I mean, if you just look at the Super Bowl, I mean, Cincinnati just stopped every rush. There was no threat to run. That's why what Stafford was doing, he was having a hard time finding guys down the field. Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Skoranek, who, I mean, my goodness. I mean, I thought I was going back to some old Lions receivers there.
And when you think about a good running back, Ezekiel Elliott gets a lot of bad rap, but because his career is going up and down, he's trying to get his money. And, when you play in that position and you run the way he runs, you got to get your money whenever you can. But Ezekiel Elliott can really control the game, and he has allowed Dak Prescott to really develop as a player because he can keep a lot of pressure off him. Ezekiel Elliott is a 225, 228-pound monster. And going back to Aaron Darnold, the beast that Ezekiel Elliott is, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, once we go off YouTube, Aaron Donald lifting Ezekiel Elliott off the ground, and your mouth will fall into your lap. As big as Ezekiel Elliott is, Aaron Donald picked him up and carried him back to the quarterback. When I was told to watch that. When I seen that, I couldn't believe it. But having a great running back, you can't pass him up because he affects the game so much.
Stan, before we get you out of here, anything burning you want to get off your chest here?
Oh, man. I couldn't wait to listen to the local talking heads around town who were killing Matthew Stafford for the last 12 years. And were they going to be honest enough to eat crow? Or were they going to try to double down and say, well, he was not? And I heard it, and I'm like, you guys got to be kidding me.
What did they say? Were they?
It was half and half. Some people admitted, say, listen, I didn't like the guy who was here, and I don't know why. We miss him. We never should have got rid of him. Or we should appreciate him more here. Some guys were saying, well, yeah, he's not this, but he still did. And they talk about the team he played with and everything else. It's just amazing that some people keep a job on the radio and have no idea what they're talking about.
Boom.
My, how does that happen?
The great Stan Edwards, everybody. You hear him every Tuesday right here on Woodward Sports Network.
How does that happen, Uncle Mass?
First time, long time.
Ask Matt. What are you asking him for? He's been fired 75 times.
I got no stations to go to anymore.
Because you're a Matt Stafford fan. That's why they got
me. Oh, great stuff, man. We'll check in with you next Tuesday, Stan. We're going to stick with some football next. We talk so much about the Rams. Where are the Bengals going next year? Where are the Cincinnati Bengals headed next year? Joe Burrow sacked the fourth most out of anybody in the history of the NFL this year. Yeah. It's just
that's terrible.
Guy's insane, and he kept coming after them. So we'll talk about where the Bengals go from here. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line.
It was laid off.
Hey, so was I twice.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today. They're practically giving them away. Les Stanford Chevrolet. You like that? How about it? Oh! How about that? Hey, gang, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford is your Corvette king. GM announced that all-new 2023 Corvette Z06. It's flat plane V8 capable of 670 horsepower, making it the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in production. How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds? That's right, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. For more, head over to CorvetteKing.com, CorvetteKing.com, or for all your other Chevy or Cadillac needs, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com, Les Stanford.
Find them.
Find them.
This cross-court dime from A.J. Hoggard to Malik Hall for a corner three. This steal by Tyson Walker to spark an alley-oop in the fast break. This baseline drive by Jaden Akins, which opened up some beautiful ball movement, capped off by an open three-pointer. So many moments in Saturday's win over Indiana that make you believe that when playing at their full potential, this MSU team can be dangerous. What's going on, everyone? I'm Alex Mayer, and this is the Michigan State Update, giving you everything you need to know about Spartans basketball. The biggest storyline going into this one, of course, was the decision by Tom Izzo to start A.J. Hoggard over Tyson Walker, who had started all 23 games prior at the point guard position. But based off his play, you wouldn't have been able to tell. Walker brought great energy to both sides of the floor and confidently hit the three-point shot, while Hoggard was aggressive getting to the rim and, of course, shared the wealth with 8 assists on the day. Hoggard would end up being ejected late in the second half in what might be the chippiest game the Spartans have played this season, but they came out on top because they played tough and brought the energy, and Tom Izzo spoke on that after the game.
But I did meet with every single kid, and I tried to go over things and show them things on film and talk to them. And so we talked about it, and I guess we sort of demanded it. I said, I'm going to change the lineup. I'll change more guys if we don't play with it. And for whatever reason, they really band together too today. I mean, this team has done that for a big part of the year, but these last couple of weeks has just been different. And, you always hit these lulls, I guess. Sometimes they really affect you. We win one or two of those games, by the ones we lost by a point. We're probably all feeling better about ourselves, and yet it would have been phony because we weren't there. We needed to get a gritty win. We really needed that.
I also want to give an honorable mention to Jaden Akins and Julius Marble in this one. Akins, who is still just a freshman, played some very important minutes down the stretch of this game, and Marble grabbed 9 important rebounds, with Marcus Bingham being in foul trouble for the majority of the day. What was concerning, however, though, was the play of Gabe Brown and Max Christie. Brown put up a goose egg in the scoring column while sitting down for the final 9 minutes of the game, and Max Christie didn't even score his first bucket till halfway through the second half. So, as pleasing as it was to see guys like Malik Hall step up in this one, you cannot expect to win every game when your leading scorers fall silent like they did this time around. They will look to bounce back against Michigan State's next opponent, Penn State, who has lost 6 out of their last 7 games. The Nittany Lions are ran by a big three consisting of John Harrar, Jalen Pickett, and Seth Lundy. The trio combined for 47 points when they played the Spartans back in December and 38 points in their most recent loss at Minnesota. The good news for the Spartans is they might be in the clear when it comes to turnovers, as Penn State is last in the entire Big Ten when it comes to creating takeaways, averaging just 8 per contest. Early start time for this one, as tip-off will be at 6:30 p.m. over on the Big Ten Network. That's going to be it for this edition of the Michigan State Update. Be sure to read more about Spartans basketball at woodwardsports.com. I'm Alex Mayer, signing off.
There you go, Alex Mayer. Good job. That's what's up. Michigan State reporter here at Woodward Sports Network. Get those weekly updates on the Spartans basketball team. We've got Korey Woods in the house, fresh off a trip from Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
Korey
Yes,
Woods,
sir.
how you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty good. I mean, pretty mad. I woke up and put on the wrong shoes today. You know, I was.
What do you mean you put on the wrong shoes? How do you put on the wrong shoes?
See, I put on my gym shoes, but I put on my actual gym shoes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you don't want those indoor shoes coming on the outdoor base.
Yeah, so
They're probably stinking too.
Man, hey.
Well, that affects it. Hour number 2 of the program, guys. Korey, just your takeaway, your just big picture overall takeaway from the Super Bowl.
Well, my big overall takeaway was that it was just pretty. It was a lot going on there out of L.A. I mean, you seen all the Bengals fans; they were going crazy.
That's Succession theme song.
Oh yeah, that was my phone going off. That was me.
You like Succession, do you?
Oh yeah, how can you not like the Roy
straight
family?
up, man. Straight up.
Roy.
But it was a lot. It was a lot going on. There was a lot of Bengals fans there. I mean, it looked like it was almost a Bengals home game from the outside to the inside of outside the SoFi Arena, stadium, I should say. A lot of Matthew Stafford supporters from Detroit was there. And it was just a really interesting experience. That halftime show, I don't want to know where to rank it, but just being there live, it was a really great experience. Seeing, Kendrick, Dre, 50, Mary J, Snoop, all that. It was pretty good. But I thought the game was a great game. Thought that, if Joe Burrow had a line worth anything, he might have had a chance to pull it out. But outside of that, pretty good.
And that's really kind of where we're going with it, too. The Cincinnati Bengals have just done a terrible job of protecting that quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that Jamar Chase is really a once in an every 5-6 year kind of talent at wide receiver, and they had to go with him. But if the Cincinnati Bengals want to get back to this spot, Braylon, they have got to do everything they can this offseason to protect that quarterback, or they're going to get him killed.
And that's why I keep bringing up the fact that I don't want to say it like that, they deserve to be in the Super Bowl. With that being said, nobody thought they were going to the Super Bowl except Dan Orlovsky. And my boy, I'm talking about when the season started.
Okay,
and nobody's talking about the playoffs when it was
Look at
destiny.
that guy. He liked the
I'm
Broncos.
talking about in the playoffs. Everybody
see.
kind of wanted that to be the destiny mode because everybody loved Joey Cole. But I'm saying during the season, they weren't a team built to go to the Super Bowl. They lucked into the playoffs, and then they went on a destiny run. The reason why I say that is they put themselves in an amazing position. They're $55 million under cap. They have all of their draft picks last year. They have 2 guys on rookie deals. You got arguably the best quarterback in the playoffs, and then you got the guy that's the best receiver in the NFL next to Devontae Adams. That's Jamar Chase. Yes, I put him that high. So I know what I see. I know that position. You got that already, 55 under cap, all your draft picks. They're going to be dangerous. Cincinnati could have a chance to do something special if they don't botch it up.
That AFC is it's like a death match. How the hell are you going to get out of the AFC next year?
I get that, and that's part. You know what? That's part of being a good team. That's part of it because all the teams that keep getting back, you got to go through that gauntlet. So that's a part of it. But no team has ever won the Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl and had $55 million under cap the next year. No team has ever done that. Been on second quarterback. Not to mention one of the best players in the NFL on the offensive side as a rookie. And talking about Jamar Chase, they're set themselves up for something nice, man. Like this is ridiculous.
And they got the defense is
play
bad.
well.
I mean,
Hendrickson.
What can you say about them? They got after it, so you're going to see them as a player for a long time to come. And then you also too, when you mentioned they're $55 million under the cap, there's going to be a lot of guys I think in free agency they're going to see how they play and say, you know what, I want to go play with Joe Cool. I want to go cool with them. Yeah.
Well, if you look at what Gronk said too, right? Gronk said if there, he's never played with a quarterback other than Tom Brady, and they asked him, well, if there's one quarterback who you would play with outside of Tom Brady, who would it be? And he said Joe Burrow.
Can you imagine Gronk on that team?
He didn't even know Joe Burrow's name. He said the guy from the Bengals.
The guy from the Bengals, yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine that kind of tight end?
I can.
On that team.
I can. With Uzomah learning essentially from Gronkowski.
Wow.
Having somebody that's been there multiple times and knows how to get it done, and just having that influence in the locker room, I'm pretty sure that's got to
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
I would be remiss, Korey, if we didn't have you here tonight and talk about the Detroit Lions. Sitting at number 2, a lot of it has been made over the past month, you can say, more so the last 2 weeks, but last month. They're sitting at 2. Do they trade that pick? Do they keep that pick because of the draft grades, which haven't come out yet?
Yeah.
But because of the draft grades, not anticipating that they'll be as high as Chase Young, not as high as a Bosa, not as high as a Myles Garrett. Do you keep the pick, or do you trade it? Do you try to make something happen for it?
Well, first off, if they have to entertain trading the pick if they get the right offer. And I think the right offer is somewhere where they're able to get like multiple picks and be able to keep another pick in that first round. Like don't go below 15, and then also maybe get like a early second rounder or something like that, mid second rounder. If you get something worth it, then trade the pick. But it's got to be something that really enticing to not get either Kayvon or Aiden, whoever's going to be there. Yeah. I mean, you definitely need that edge rusher for this defense. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with Trey Flowers? I'm expecting that may, with that salary they could cut bait. You got to bring somebody in, and I mean those two guys right now, as it stands, Pat. How can you pass on them?
Because if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm only on the phone with 2 organizations right now, and I would be on the phone with them 2 organizations until I'm blue in the face.
Yep.
That's the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the New York Giants.
Yeah, I wouldn't go past 10. That's for sure.
That's why I said the Eagles.
Jets got action too.
Yeah, Jets got action for sure in this one. I think it's so funny because as long as this draft goes back and forth, you've got all this time now. You can't help but talk yourself into and out of things, and I'm almost talking myself back into Aiden Hutchinson at number 2. So plenty of time to talk draft. Thanks, my man. Good work. Welcome back from Los Angeles, California, sunshine.
The hell with that. I didn't get my invite.
I didn't even get to ask him any Senior Bowl or Super Bowl questions.
You want to ask him?
I do.
All right, then we'll do that next. But first, please, the big boss is here. Chad Johnson is here. I cannot leave this studio today without 200 likes on this YouTube.
Let's do it.
So we're at 133 right now. If you can get me to 150 at least by the next commercial break,
make us look good.
I'd love you forever. I cannot leave this studio without 200 likes during the live show. So thanks if you're watching on YouTube. Over 20,000 subscribers now on YouTube, and we certainly appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Incredible participation from everybody on the YouTube.
News. Got a big announcement. Big announcement. We got a big guest on Thursday.
Oh yes, I was going to let you reveal that. So,
and tomorrow.
We've got all that for you, and Maz is going to hit Korey with a little rapid fire question. Senior Bowl next.
Okay.
Armani and Edwards.
You better get your questions.
I'm ready.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. With my man Korey, fresh off the Super Bowl so fast.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
You want
6 dark corners.
What's going on?
Hamtramck, yes, that's it. The Hamtramck Folding Warehouse. Chris and Noni Hutt, your great hosts there. What is folding? It's throwing football at bowling pins. You can do it by yourself, with a friend, family, have a team building event, any way you want to do it. 2 ways to play. $10 unlimited open play. You can go at the beginning of the day, stay to the end. Or a private lane reservation. 10 people, $120. It's yours for 2 hours. They've got multiple full bars. And don't forget, over 100 beers, that $2 mystery beer machine. As for food, bring your own in, have a picnic, do whatever you want. Even order food to be delivered. It's that great of a place. It's the Folding Warehouse. Come get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
Korey Wood's in the house with us, our Lions beat reporter, Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. Guys, having a lot of fun today. Thank you so much. Well over 150 now, approaching 160. I cannot leave the studio until we get 200 likes today. It's just Chad Johnson is here.
When we get 200 before
today.
4, you leaving before the show's over?
No, I'm not. We're going to keep going.
I'm checking, man. I'm making sure.
You already got your haircut today.
I did. Wait
James.
wait till you hear that read coming up next. Looking good today. Thanks, guys.
Go
ahead, Matt.
Hey, I got some stuff for Korey. As far as the Super Bowl, go back to the Super Bowl for a minute. How was L.A.? Tell us about SoFi Stadium. How are the prices? What were they doing? How are the people? Did you see any Hollywood stars? Did you rub elbows? Did you get to go in to the locker rooms, et cetera, et cetera?
All right, so first of all, I'll hit that last one. There was no locker room access for nobody.
Welcome to 2022.
Okay, yeah, COVID has changed quite a bit, but LA was really nice. I mean, the weather was great. It was like 85, 90 degrees out there. Couple of my frat brother took me out to a lot of good food spots. Hit this place called Birdie's downtown LA.
Birdie.
He had my first In-N-Out burger experience. Phenomenal.
What did you
There
think?
we go.
I
miss In-N-Out.
Then I had some tacos. So I ate pretty well. As far as SoFi Stadium, SoFi is a really beautiful stadium. It's big. It's like. It's almost overwhelming how gigantic that place is, especially walking around it, walking indoors.
Can I stop you for a second right there?
Uh-oh.
SoFi Stadium, Allegiant Stadium.
Allegiant.
It makes even the stadium in Dallas.
The experience.
It makes Ford Field look like a pit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't it?
It's like a. It almost makes it look like a basketball arena.
Yeah, the days of Ford Field attracting any type of Super Bowl,
Done.
Get over it.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
No way.
And that stadium is 20 years
It's
old.
21 years.
21 years old, believe it or not. I mean, you almost 10 years from now need another stadium.
Which is crazy to think about.
Think about that.
Which is crazy to think about. Ford Field, which is still a really nice venue.
Yeah.
It just is actually outdated now compared to something like SoFi.
No doubt.
That sucks because essentially the same thing is going to happen with that as what happened with the Palace.
Yeah.
Palace, they just got the Palace in '89, and then you turn around and got LCA.
Where else can you go in Detroit? Back where the Joe Louis Arena was?
You can't have it in downtown.
Well, Joe Louis Arena area.
Yeah.
And Matt,
Off
correct
the water.
correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't when the Palace built, that was like considered a state-of-the-art basketball arena?
It was for 30 years.
Yeah.
It was for
And then
at
it
least
wasn't.
20 years.
Guess what?
I still like the Palace more than
It
LCA.
still would.
Yeah, it's not like because it wasn't a bad seat in the Palace.
No, not at all. Not at all. And the concerts, man, like the concourse level, like LCA is obviously it's bigger. That's about all I got for you.
So I'm sorry to stop you in your train of thought of being out in L.A., but it just got me to thinking. You look at these stadiums.
Oh, it's no comparison.
There isn't, and it makes you think that the Lions do need a new stadium 10 years from now. Because 10 years from now, that thing is going to be even more outdated than it is now.
And just the outside of it, everything surrounding it, the signage, the lake, the water, just. It's just when you go up to that thing, it's overwhelming. Like, whoa!
Wait for the Bears to put up their stadium, in Arlington.
Yeah, they're gonna. My cousin lives out there. He said that's a whole new thing out there. So when they build that's gonna be something.
Mm-hmm.
How are the prices, man, and the stadium and stuff? What were they selling?
They're selling,
everything.
T-shirts were outside were $70.
Oh my!
I'm mad at myself because those same T-shirts the next day at the airport were 50% off. If I would have known, I would have waited. But that's neither here nor there.
That's not on you though. That's not on you.
So you had a good experience, first time.
Yeah, first time in the Super Bowl, had a really good experience. Drink prices were pretty high. Bud Light, tall was like $17.
This is
man.
I got a funny story. I get drafted 05, and I'm used to Michigan. I'm used to being here, hanging out here, and all that kind of stuff. This is like when they first started doing bottle service too. You go out and do bottle service. I went out to LA and I went to a spot called Area. Fabulous used to rap about Area. So at Fabulous rap about, I'm going there. So we go to Area. Didn't get a table right away. Took me forever to get in because I wasn't trying to use the NFL.
Is that a Wolfgang Puck?
No. Area is a club.
Yeah,
this is a club. This is actual.
Come on, bro.
Partying, man.
Yeah, right. Partying.
So I go in there. I didn't get a table at first. I just wait in line like everybody else. And I go to drink. I see some girls. You know how it is. Okay, let me get you a drink. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I got some plastic in my pocket. I got drafted. I'm feeling good. I know what time it is. And I'm like, let me get, what would you? Grey Goose and pineapple. That was a drink.
Grey Goose keeps you loose.
That's a long time ago.
You watch it. So I'm like, let me get same for you. Okay, let me get what you want? You want one too? Oh, your girl want one too? Yeah, let me get 4 Grey Goose and pineapples. I'm thinking,
$100.
$15.
Right.
I'm thinking like 50, and even 15. The thought process is high.
$100.
$60. It was like, okay, yeah, that'd be $130. I'm like,
for 4 drinks.
I'm like, what is in these drinks?
How much was it?
It was with tax and everything, like $135, $140. So I said,
for 4 drinks.
So I said, if I'm gonna spend $140 for 4 drinks, and this is 2005, I went and got the VIP host. I said, I need a table. I might as well pay the $1,000.
Sitting here with four ladies.
Like, Jesus Christ.
That's
I won
great.
4. I had, it was me and my boy. It was 2 ladies.
That is classic.
That wasn't one of the 4 lady stores.
Korey, you had a pretty good couple of weeks. You went to Mobile, Alabama,
Yep.
so the Senior Bowl. What'd you take out of the Lions staff there, the Jets staff there? What was your take? Because Deuce Staley was the man.
Yeah, Deuce Staley was definitely the man out there. Also out there, Dan Campbell is interviewing his candidates for offensive coordinator. Now we know it's Ben Johnson, of course. But one thing that really stood out to me was just how amped they were to be there. I actually was able to speak to Deuce in Aubrey Pleasant when they were coming in. They said, granted, they know that they're there because they did not have the best record, but they just felt it was a great opportunity for their coaching staff to be able to get the experience and be able to get a jump start on scouting some young talent. And I think it's no secret that they're really high on Malik Willis.
That's the name
and
I was gonna go
that's
to.
the guy that, throughout the entire week, as much as they tried to hide it, they could not hide their love for Malik Willis, from Dan Campbell to Ben Johnson to Mark Brunell. Mark Brunell was just gushing over the guy. Dan Campbell gushed over him multiple times at the Reese's Senior Bowl media day, then during the game. So that's one of the big takeaways I got from them. They were really happy to be down there, but they're really high on that guy.
I am so glad to hear that, and I'll tell you why. The Lions, if they love Malik Willis, take him at 2. If you absolutely love the guy, take him at 2. And if you don't love the guy, you make everybody think you love that guy.
Yep.
Because I'm telling
I told you about that story.
create a market for that second spot, because I've seen mock drafts, a CBS mock draft that has had Malik Willis as high as 6.
Yeah.
I have seen him in the top 10. If you are going to be serious about winning the draft and improving your football team, create a market for Malik Willis in that number 2 pick. That's how you get
3
good
quarterbacks
quickly.
will be gone in the top 10.
Without question.
Yeah,
100%. Top 15. I'll go top 15.
Win, lose, or draw, you better say Malik Harris is the guy. Malik is the guy for you.
Malik Willis.
Yeah, I'm thinking about basketball.
I did it the other day when I made it post. I put Malik Harris.
Oh, you said Malik?
I did it too. So
Shout out to Malik Harris.
Listen, the Lions
Renaissance High School.
are not going to draft in the top 5 anymore. They're not. So this is it. If you think your quarterback's there, you better get him, or you better trade out of that spot and know what the drop dead number is to go to.
Because you definitely got to look and see who already has a quarterback who may be in the market for one. You don't want to trade too low and then boom, you miss out on the guy. So they're really high on him. I think that from what I saw from him out there, and it's also something that I saw at Liberty. People were going to say, like, okay, he's, doesn't really look that good in the pocket. Well, I haven't really seen him play with a really good offensive line. The offensive line during the Senior Bowl, to me, it failed him. I've been watching some tape from him at Liberty. It looked like it failed him there. I want to see what he would do with the line, because he's had over 2,700 yards passing each year and close to 1,000 yards rushing each year at Liberty. So if he's able to do that with the Lions line, which is pretty much generally respected across the league,
it's a really good line.
He'll be able to do something.
The one thing that bothers me about that, Korey, is when you're not used to being in a place, if you're not used to operating from a place, when you have to be in that place, you don't know how to be in that place. Like Malik Willis is used to going left, right, everywhere except staying in that pocket, being a pocket passer. And I hate when people say, oh, he's not a pocket. No, pocket passer just means in that particular moment you need to be a pocket passing quarterback. You're a pocket passer. If you need to run, you're a running quarterback. But that's the one thing that bothers me, is he's never played in the pocket. Teaching him to play in the pocket can go against what he's used to.
So you're the former NFL player, so I'm going to ask you, because you would know this better than me. Let's say the Lions draft him.
Yeah.
With what you just said, do you think it would be good for him to go ahead and sit a year and probably learn under Goff, learn under Mark Brunell, and maybe, correct some of those things that you're talking about and be able to grow? Would that help him?
It will be tough because Malik Willis is such a different quarterback than Jared Goff.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to sit Malik Willis behind Jared Goff and let him teach him, that means you're keeping the same offense in play that Jared Goff is going to run. And they're going to run a different offense with Malik Willis. So it's an interesting fact, but potentially.
Guys, NFL.com yesterday has Malik Willis going even higher. I'll tell you where that is. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, The Bottom Line. Talking about the Lions draft status.
Sit down, baby. Get tight. You want to stay?
Hey, man.
Come on.
Stay.
You're
we're just kicking it
around.
around.
Your call, baby.
Sit a while. As they used to say back in the day, sit a while.
We'll be right back.
Woodward Sports Network.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Braylon catches TDs.
On the slant, there goes Braylon Edwards. Edwards on a foot race, and no one's going to get near him. 80 yards for the touchdown.
Ryan catches Pokemon. We all have our strengths. The Bottom Line on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang. I want to tell you about Lady Jane's haircuts for men.
Lady Jane.
Precision haircuts. I'm telling you, and do you see this smile here that I got working today? Do you know why I got this smile working today? Because I saw my girl Becca out there. She tightened me up a little bit. Look, no, not you, man. Look at this hair today. Doesn't this hair look good today, Korey? Don't I look good today?
Oh, man, you look fire.
Oh, man, look fresh today. Maz?
You always look handsome.
Oh, I'm telling you, handsome and clean. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's right. Several locations throughout Metro Detroit area, several more around the country. We are just about in every state in the freaking union. That's right. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in anytime. Walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
So Korey brings up this point about everybody loving Malik Willis. The Lions' love for Malik Willis at the Senior Bowl. NFL.com came out with their mock draft yesterday. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
I'd love it.
The NFL.com has the Carolina Panthers moving up from pick 6 to pick 3 to draft Malik Willis. To get their quarterback.
They want one bad.
They want one bad. If you are the Detroit Lions, it is imperative that you sell yourself that you are going to take Malik Willis at number 2. Whether you're going to take him or not, you tell everybody that is your guy at number 2 because they need a quarterback. Carolina needs a quarterback. And you know who else needs a quarterback? The Houston Texans, who picked at 3.
That's what the Dolphins did.
You've got 2 teams within the first 6 picks that are desperate for a quarterback. Now, will Houston take that quarterback? I don't know. Maybe not because they're trading out of 3. You got to do whatever you got to do to get Carolina in on that. Oh, by the way, Maz, you said 3 picks in the top 10?
Yep.
NFL.com. Number 3, Malik Willis to Carolina. Number 9, Kenny Pickett to Denver. Number 10, Sam Howell to Pittsburgh. Oh, by the way, number 11, Matt Corral to the Washington Commanders. You've got 4 quarterbacks in the top 11 of this draft.
I thought it was going to be top 15, but top 11, that sounds about right still.
Mm-hmm.
That's because nobody has time to try to pay Russell Wilson or pay Aaron Rodgers or pay all these quarterbacks that already have $40 million cap hits. They don't have time for that. And they're looking at the Super Bowl. What happened in the Super Bowl? There's a quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry. First round draft pick. Second year in the league that's in the Super Bowl. They playing wild as money, as Maz likes to say. The Miami Dolphins did the same exact thing in my draft. I told you the story. This is about the 3rd time I've said it. They told everybody that they wanted to draft me. So everybody was literally thinking like, okay, well, we know Braylon's going to the Dolphins. So now you got people that have 2 rounds and needs a receiver. The Washington Commanders, but they weren't that back then. They had 2 first-round picks. They were in negotiations. This came out. I was privy to this information by Rick Spielman. Years later, I called him out on it, and he told me how the business works. He said they got interest from the Washington football team that's now the Commanders. He said they were close to doing the deal. So I could have been there. They would have moved up. The Lions were close to doing a deal. Matt Millen, they were doing the deal, trying to get me here. They had 2 first-round picks. They ended up getting Mike Williams at pick 10. And there was another. It was missing one more. And the Vikings, they were trying to do a deal, and they were trying to move up. So that's a real deal. They just didn't come to terms. That thing is real that Ryan is talking about. You make them think that's what you want. Now they got to deal with you, and now you trick them.
Yeah, you don't want to do what Quinn Trisha did and just tell the whole world that you're drafting Jeff Okudah at number 3.
Exactly.
Not only that, go back to Dumb and Dumber when they said, Chase Daniel, we'll sign you 5 days before the draft. Chase Daniel.
Right.
And that, of course, Tua and Herbert and everyone was there. So Dumb and Dumber did it again.
By the way, in this draft, they do have the Detroit Lions at number 32 picking Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati. So you've got a quarterback in that first round, 5 quarterbacks in the first round, NFL.com. Guys, it's an intriguing, and it's intriguing as all hell. And if Malik Willis is the real,
I don't know. It's not even that I need to see more on Malik Willis. If I'm watching the Super Bowl and the playoffs, and I'm looking at the makeup that is the Lions and what we're trying to. I can't put my eggs in the I can't put my eggs in the basket of Malik Willis. I'm just sorry.
Let me ask you this though, Braylon, and here's the difference between me and you for lack of the difference is you've played in the league. You know the league a lot better than I do.
I'm just taller. That's all.
Well, I'm just saying too, but. I'm not a talent evaluator.
Right.
Like, if you went back to the Patrick Mahomes draft, chances are he probably wouldn't be the 3rd quarterback taken in that draft. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not my job to say if Malik Willis is going to be a Patrick Mahomes type player or a great quarterback, but it's Brad Holmes' job. And you've got to make that determination. You've got to be right on that. I mean, Justin Herbert, I'm sorry, he's a better player than Tua Tagovailoa.
Absolutely.
And, Miami had to fire a coach because that GM made a terrible pick. You cannot miss on these evaluations for talent. That's how you end up on the street, Korey.
I mean, I agree. And the thing is, with the Lions, with number 2, they you said they're hiring Willis, get him. But there are some other guys out there that did look pretty good at the Senior Bowl. I mean, I don't think Kenny Pickett, he looked good. Let me be honest, he looked good.
He ain't look that good, though.
He ain't look that good, but he looked
good.
He's good. He looked good in that game.
Gotcha.
Now, I did talk to the Senior Bowl director, Jim Nagy, and I was asking him about Sam Howell, and he said he doesn't even. I was like, hey, I think thinking about Sam Howell might be a guy the Lions might try to
second round,
trade up later in, trade back into the first round, another pick, like move up from that 32 to get him.
Gotcha.
And he said he didn't think that he would be available that far for the Lions to even try to, play that game to trade up again in the first round to get him. So who knows about that? I know there's been a stigma about the 6-foot quarterbacks, which he spoke on.
How tall is Malik Willis?
Malik Willis, 6'4", I believe.
Okay, listen. If Brad Holmes takes Malik Willis with pick number 2, then I know that Malik Willis
6'1".
I knew he was short.
I'm just saying, if Brad Holmes takes him, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I think he's built up enough equity now that allows me to be a believer in his talent evaluation. I mean, he is responsible for those guys out there in L.A. They didn't have a first-round pick since Jared Goff, okay? They have not had a first-round pick since Jared Goff in 2016. It's his due diligence that has helped them draft well enough to build a Super Bowl championship team. It is also here in Detroit 1 year, Braylon. Those guys are pretty darn good, this class.
I would say definitely, and we've talked about that, especially as the season got to the later stages. I would definitely say that he's built up some trust. He's built up some trust for me to look at him and say, I think he knows what he's doing. With that being said, he has not built up the trust enough, and from this standpoint, of him drafting Malik Willis at number 2 for me to just blindly say it was a good move. And the reason why I say that is How much credit does he deserve for the Rams situation over the past 5 years? I think we link him to it because he deserves to be linked to it.
He's assistant.
He definitely deserves to be linked to it, you know, and I know Cooper Kupp for a fact is his move. So Cooper Kupp, that was his move, says a lot. But I don't know if I trust him enough yet to say if he draft Malik Willis at number 2, I trust that. Now, if you say something else about a later round pick or something like that, I'll give you that. But not yet can I say I have enough trust in him that if he picks him, I automatically believe him.
And you shouldn't, by the way. No offense. I mean, this organization has sucked for 60-plus years.
Yeah.
The whole organization has sucked for 60-plus years. So why anybody should blindly accept anything with this franchise is nutso. And that's why yesterday I called myself a sicko for thinking these guys could do it.
I would have one eye open. I put it out.
Yeah. Now, if they don't,
CBS.
Now, if they don't go with Willis at number 2, would you be on board or opposed to them still drafting a quarterback in the first round?
Second pick, yeah. Second pick. Now that's not with the second first round pick is what I meant. Not with the second pick overall.
That's what I was thinking.
None of them jokers deserve to be the second pick overall. None of them do. Now, if somebody deserves it, like later on, you can hit me with my favorite line. You can say, "I told you so" 3-4 years from now. But
That's
none of them
spade a spade.
Exactly. Keep it called spade a spade, man. But right now, none of them deserve that. And I want to even the combine at this point. Combine can't for a quarterback is different. Like you can't really show that much or move up that much in the combine. Those quarterbacks have moved up as far as they can at the Senior Bowl because you saw it like going against. Only person that can move up more is if Kenny Pickett went out there and ran a 4.2. Then he becomes number 1 quarterback off the board. Other than that, I don't think anybody can move up.
And you know what? To your point, I just think that's pretty much why everybody has been on this Willis train lately because he's showcased during that Senior Bowl from the practices and during the game some crazy athleticism. I believe that at one point he got up to 21 miles per hour. He was running. Like, that is freaky.
Yeah.
God, I love everybody on YouTube right now.
Al Davis.
I am less than
right now.
We are less than 10 likes away from 200. Less than 10 away from 200. I said I cannot leave this studio without 200 likes on the live YouTube chat because we've got Chad Johnson here in studio.
The building.
Not in studio, but in the building. He's in the building.
I can see him right here to my right.
I know we're talking quarterbacks, but Thibodeau and Hutchinson is still stuck in my head. We need help on that side.
And that's what I'm saying. It's got to be.
Hold it. We'll get there next.
Okay.
Got to take a break. Get there next. Armani and Edwards.
And don't forget, we have a surprise guest tomorrow as well as a huge surprise guest
Big
on
reveal.
Thursday. Big reveal. Stick
200 likes, baby. Yeah. Let's
Sports
keep
Network.
it going. Keep it going.
Bottom line. Keep the likes coming.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang, I want to thank the great people at Planet Fitness, our studio sponsors, and it's a wonderful place to join. I had my girls, Maddie and Abby, join the other day, and they're going to get themselves a black card once they turn 18. I'm going to tell you about it. Planet Fitness, of course, the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership, how affordable is this? $10 a month, no cancellation fees at all. The black card worth $22.99 a month. And what does that step you up to, Bray? What does the black card get you?
How about those free tanning anytime, or let me change that. Unlimited tanning. Massage chairs. Oh, they remember they tried to get some massage chairs, man? So it's going to hook us up.
That'll be nice.
That's the place to be, baby.
And you get access to over 2,000 locations with that black card. Unlimited guest privileges. So if you get one card, a black card, you get to bring somebody with you
each time. That basically means you have a free membership.
Free membership.
Do the math on that one.
It's a good one. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, now open in Midtown Detroit, right at the Detroit Pistons Performance Center. Right now, $0 down, $10 a month, Planet Fitness.
Man, thanks to everybody in the YouTube chat. Over 230 likes now. That's amazing. Unbelievable here. Man. You know, that just helps YouTube kind of push out Woodward Sports content to everybody. And the more views we get, the bigger we get, the longer we stay around here as we try to gain some traction in the market. Doing something that nobody really has ever done before in our market. We're trying to do sports talk in a different way. Sure, we're on the radio and from 6 to 8:30 and throughout the day on the Roar, and we certainly appreciate that partnership. But really want to get all eyes on the YouTube channel as we continue to grow.
And
Absolutely,
Chad, appreciate you, man. You got this thing rolling.
Absolutely. Just quickly before I get back to the football about the Hutchinson and the Thibodeau, Maz, as you wanted to get back to. Keith Gave, former Red Wings writer locally here, I believe for the Free Press. So today, Jaromir Jagr is 50 years old, believe it or not. So Keith Gave writes,
my guy.
I knew him when the Detroit Red Wings scouts were begging their GM to draft him with the 3rd overall pick in 1990. Wings took Keith Primo instead. Just imagine Jagr on Sergei Fedorov's wing for a decade or so. Not that he didn't fit nicely with Mario Lemieux.
Wow.
Can you imagine
that? Flowing hair, that mullet.
All the success the Detroit Red Wings had.
Those
Can you imagine if they had Jaromir Jagr instead of Keith Primo?
Freaking Penguins wouldn't have won as much.
Yeah.
How many times have scouts come and gave some GMs some great advice?
And Phil Nevin.
That's where I was going. That's where I was going. And the GM basically looked him up and down and was like, "Get the hell out of here." That's why Billy Bean was so cool, because he was the scout and then he became the GM, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lions have 5 picks in the top 100.
That's great, and 3 of the top 34.
Yep.
I said earlier too, I'm kind of talking myself back into Aiden Hutchinson. When you see,
I don't want him here.
You don't want him?
No, I think the pressure will be too much.
Nah.
Playing at home.
He's not built like that. Like there are some individuals that are where you can see that the pressure might be too much because that's how they conduct themselves. I love Charles Rogers to death. I would have died for Charles Rogers. That's how close I was to him. But you could tell at Michigan State what type of person that we'd be in terms of letting the pressure get to you, hanging out, partying, letting his inner circle kind of dictate what he did throughout the week. That's an individual that you can, just like, he would have to have a great leadership situation here in Detroit, and it just wasn't that with the Lions at the time. Aiden Hutchinson is different, and I'm not saying I'll take him right now. I'll wait on that, but Aiden Hutchinson will be different. Aiden's a leader. All he cares about is hit quarterback, see quarterback, lead team, be what the team needs. Like, you see what he told Jim Harbaugh before the season started. He told Jim Harbaugh, hey, I need you to be as hard on me as you can. I need you to check me in front of the team. I need you to do whatever you need to do to get the best out of me. I'm coming back to win it all. Like that type of energy, that type of passion, that type of leadership, that type of humbleness, I ain't worried about him being 20 minutes away from where he grew up in Northfield. Not that type of player. I ain't worried about him.
I'm not either. And I do believe that he's just built differently to where the pressure doesn't get to you like that. I mean, if he felt pressure was going to get to him, he wouldn't have gone to the University of Michigan.
Absolutely.
That's closer.
Yeah, right?
That's the closer
He
ride.
doesn't go to University of Michigan. Maybe he goes to Tennessee or something like that. I mean,
they're going to be good this year.
Yeah.
Why am I so afraid of Thibodeau going somewhere and making a monkey out of us?
See, now that's
it's
somebody
the unknown.
Because of that
unknown.
Yeah.
That's somebody to me that keeps falling, Korey. He keeps falling. I mean, not only is he not 1 anymore, he's not 2 anymore, he's not 3 anymore, falling to 6.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of reports that are questions about his motor and his drive and ethic, and he's actually came out and kind of slammed some of those critics. It's like, you'll see. I mean, but remember, those were the same things that people are saying about Thibodeau. They said that about Micah Parsons. Look what happened with Micah Parsons.
The only difference is
when
the only difference is this to me. When you watch Micah Parsons play college football, each and every game, you saw the best player on the field.
Yes.
Anytime you watch Oregon play, I watched that Ohio State game. You couldn't have told me he was out there because he wasn't. But every time that he was out there, I didn't see him dominate anybody.
He kind of took the year off.
And Maz Gosh darn it, Mavs. That's exactly where I was going. Good call by you. I wonder how much of that was, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Because I ain't trying to really get hurt. That's my draft.
Just like Bosa.
He didn't pull a Bosa all out. Bosa, after he got hurt, and then, he missed his 2 games, he got healthy. Bosa just said he wasn't coming back. So at least Bosa did say that. Kayvon kind of pulled one of those, I got a little hamstring this week. So what I would say is he is slipping, and there's rightfully so. Like, people should have the right to feel that way, and they should. But the difference is, like, the quarterbacks at the combine, they're not going to show you anything that you don't know. Like, maybe breaking down film in the meeting room, but how many quarterbacks can't break down film? Like, defensive players, wide receivers, running backs, combine is where they shine, especially if they're a higher one and they chose not to play in the East-West Shrine. They chose not to play in a Senior Bowl. When they get out there and you see Kayvon Thibodeaux come off that edge and he's lightning fast and looks like a blur and he's up, down, and he's running, then all that stuff that you were saying before, you're like, man, this boy can play.
Now, I'm glad you brought up the combine because that's coming up very shortly. And I gotta preface my comment by saying this: I don't want nobody jumping out the screen and saying I don't know nothing. I'm not saying the Lions take him at number 2, but let's say they don't go with Thibodeaux or Hutchinson.
Stingley.
I'm thinking later in the draft, maybe like that second pick, that second first-round pick, or early in the second round. Watch out for Minnesota's Boye Mafe. I think that he's a guy
that got hurt this year. He was good too.
He looked good in Senior Bowl. Yeah. I think at the combine, that's going to be a guy that's going to really raise his stock. He is a flat-out monster.
Brandon, you mentioned Stingley.
Yeah, he was good.
You mentioned Stingley from LSU. Cornerback at number 2. He's the best player in the draft.
And this is
he's the best player in the draft.
This is where you pay attention to the things that have come before. When you're looking at LSU, and I don't even have to watch film. If I was a GM and I had somebody come to me and say, "Hey, there's this kid in LSU secondary. So where's he? Sign him. We need him. What do we need to do to get him?" Their proof is in the pudding, from Greedy Williams to Tyrann Mathieu to Patrick Peterson. And oh, by the way, if you want to go wide receivers, I think the proof is in the pudding with your wide receivers. Like, when you mentioned certain schools, like in certain positions, you're like, wait, what? He's offensive lineman. He's at Oklahoma. Bring him over here. He's offensive lineman, Bama. Bring him over here. Certain schools, certain positions, it's a no-brainer. You don't even have to watch film.
I have avoided the conversation, and maybe we can explore it a little bit more tomorrow. But he is the best player in the draft. And can you take a cornerback number 2 after your Jeff Okudah at number 3 failed? I'm telling you, you can't turn one mistake into 2 mistakes either, though. You know what I mean? You can't not pick Stingley just because Okudah didn't work out.
Well, Okudah is still going to recover.
I'm not.
Think about me with taking a cornerback that high, and I even said this with Okudah.
Saying,
it's just when you draft a cornerback that high, you're telling me this guy is about to be Charles Woodson or Deion Sanders.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm telling you. This kid is the real deal. So, I mean, just something to think about. Maybe we can talk more about
standard.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you bring up that point, because outside of, because even still, I'll give you an example. Tyrann Mathieu has been brilliant on 3 different teams. Every time he's gone to a team, he's made them better. Even Houston's sorry asses. Like, he's made them better. Like, Patrick Peterson, 8 straight Pro Bowls. His first 8 years in Arizona, and the list goes on. Even with knowing that, I still ain't taking Patrick Peterson number 2 overall.
I know.
With Tyrann Mathieu, I'm still not taking number 2 overall. I'm only taking 2 people, and you named them.
That's why you gotta get out of that pick.
But
get the hell out of that pick.
But for as many areas of need you have, you are, look, defensive back is an area of need, obviously, but you
it's like the 3rd one.
Yeah, you could get away with it for another, you know what I mean? You got to get after the quarterback, too. So is that a luxury as opposed to just being so bad you take the best player available to you? I mean, what is your goal?
To get to the quarterback.
Do you take the best player available, or do you take the best player available of need? You know what I mean? It's just
or do you reach for a quarterback?
But that's why this draft is so crazy. Right. That's why this draft is so interesting, and it's because typically you take the best player available.
Right.
There's not a lot of high grades in this draft. So the best player available, you might be like, he's the best player available, but he's an 87 grade out.
Gotta get to a break. Corey, sit tight. You're gonna stay for Maz's videos of the day.
We gotta pay you for this
We've
show.
got it next. Yeah, right. Chad, Armani and Edwards.
Pay him. He's a world traveler, for crying out loud.
Woodward Sports, at least refund the trip. Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. Hey, pay this man.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward Sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first. Big names, bigger opinions. It's the bottom line on Woodward Sports.
For over a decade now, SMA has been leveraging relationships as it relates to athletes and other notables in the field of supporting mental health and addiction awareness. Former NFL alumni Sean Jordan has done an amazing job just partnering up with these various causes and various groups, talking about talking about the Oakland County Health Network, also the Detroit Wayne Health initiated and integrated system. Working with these has made me realize the importance, man. Like, our voices help getting in on the ground, being there, talking about destigmatizing mental health, like normalizing addiction awareness, really getting after that. Sean and SMA have done an amazing job, and we're proud to sponsor with them, introducing the Sports Marketing Podcast. This is the F word. The F word is for fentanyl. Can't wait to be a part of that, which I will be on the podcast as well. If you need help, or if you know someone that needs help in the space of mental health and addiction awareness, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. We will be here to help.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili's?
That's right. It's where you will have the finest and the cleanest salons in the D. They've got spotless, sanitized rooms, trained and certified tanning professionals. Also, join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all the competitors for $5, by at least $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, California Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. We all need that nowadays. 26 locations and more to come. Don't forget, coming up on Monday, Big D Energy on February 21st. That's next Monday. It's Braylon's birthday bash. That's right.
Yeah.
But it's going to be...
couple of you guys' birthdays.
Yeah, I got mine coming up.
Friday.
Mine's coming up. But the Berkeley Grand Opening on Monday from 11 to 1. Join Big D Energy there. Woodward Avenue between 11 and 12 Mile Road. It's Chili Peppers Tanning.
All right, gang. It is. We are having a lot of fun here today, man. Stan Edwards, Corey Wood. Corey had a phone call to take, so we sent him out of here. We certainly appreciate his perspective. Fresh off a trip to the Super Bowl and the Senior Bowl. Good couple of weeks out of him.
He'll be heading to Indy probably for the combine.
Yes, sir. And we are heading over to you right now because it is that time of the day we like to play
Maz's videos of the day. Maz, take it away.
All right, brother. Let's take you back until the 80s. Take you back to the 80s, folks. And the great Frank Beckman on the call of this AC touchdown. Anthony Carter.
Oh, man. Goosebumps. I was going to wear Anthony Carter
Goose Pimples, 3rd and 20.
Looks for somebody deep. He's going for Carter, who's got a man deep. He's got it at the 30, the 20. He's going in for
Look at his end zone.
Michigan.
Look at those end zones.
71 yards from Steve Smith and Anthony Carter. Carter had his man beat at the 30-yard line. The ball was thrown perfectly by Steve Smith.
Oh, Steve Smith.
Yeah. Touchdown pass.
Wow, look at those.
Look at those cheerleaders. Very bubbly.
Look at this guy.
71 yards to put Michigan on top of Notre Dame.
Matriculating the ball down the field.
Is that a Dr. Sapp video?
Of course it's the Dr. Sapp video. Where else?
For all your Michigan highlights.
How does Dr. Sapp get all these videos?
I know. They're hard to get from him, too.
He's got a library,
I've
man.
tried to steal a couple of them.
Really?
He's got a library. Hey.
I want to meet him. See
that
a real
would be
person.
nice.
Is he alive?
That would be nice.
I think so.
Are you guys scared of heights, by the way?
Yes,
I'm
terrified.
petrified of heights.
Terrified.
All right, stay tuned for this one.
And
Not a chance.
No music. We don't need the music. Let's just watch.
What is it?
There's a date.
Just
Not a chance.
look at that. You're sitting on a picnic table. Just
Oh, you strapped in too.
look at this.
There isn't a chance. You couldn't give me $10 million.
Look
Yes,
at
you
that.
could.
I wouldn't do it for $10 million.
Lies and fabrications. First of all,
I'd have a heart attack, dude, and hyperventilate.
Okay, that's different.
So what
Honestly,
what good's the $10 million?
Family be taken care of.
I'll take care of them now.
Look at that.
I'm messing with you.
Oh my God!
Oh
right
my
over Niagara
gosh.
Falls too.
I tell you what, just let me know where you guys want to go because I'm about to go get that $10 million and take y'all on the trip.
You're sitting
$10
on-
million I'm in.
You're sitting on that picnic table.
Oh my
500,000 I'm in. I do it because it looks cool.
Oh my gosh.
But if you're paying me, yeah, you know,
God.
a little
I wish
extra.
I was.
I get the chills just looking at that.
Yeah, I can't. My stomach almost just dropped.
All right, Bray. What was it?
I wouldn't eat though.
Bray, what was your biggest dead weight lift?
Largest dead weight?
Yeah, largest dead weight.
5'10".
5'10".
5'10". Never was a leg guy. I mean, as you can tell, I just little legs. But 5'10" when I was getting
How much
there.
you think this guy's lifting?
I could squat 1,000
Go ahead,
pounds
Alex.
back in the day.
Look at this guy.
I saw, man, this is foolishness. So that's what that's.
He's got. Describe it. Describe it right now, Ryan.
All right, so-
What's he got around his neck? And
It looks like. Oh, so basically, he has a chain around his neck, which is the old school neck exercise. He's got a can of paint on that chain. He has another chain around his neck that has 245 plates, so that's 90 right there. He has a barbell. He has a barbell that has two 90s on it, and then he has another the deadlift. It looks like about, I would say, 600 pounds of foolishness.
Unbelievable.
Maybe 400. Maybe 400.
Wasn't something hanging from his pants too?
Yeah, it's two of them.
I didn't pay attention to that.
Two weights.
It just looked like
incredible.
It screamed, "I'm training to storm the Capitol." That's what that looked like. It looked like he was training to storm the Capitol. So I digress.
Stop it.
Only idiots storm the Capitol. He looks like.
Hey, we showed this video, right? He went viral.
No, exactly.
He
I
went
love
viral.
It. Hey,
What
why idiots go viral?
about? Did you see? I wish I would have sent the video of the day today that Rex Chapman sent.
Oh,
of,
Mr. Dunk Contest.
Chris Farley coming
He would
out
have been
of
what, 58 years old today?
Yeah, he would have been 58 years old today. I didn't send it in. Maybe we could play it tomorrow.
All right.
Because Rex Chapman has Chris Farley being announced on the Letterman show, and he's running
run
down
from the
the
crowd. I
aisles,
saw that.
running down the crowd, and picking up fans, throwing them in
What a
trash
classic.
cans.
I loved it. We could talk about it off air. It gets me choked up. I love Chris. We talk about it off the air.
Man, I'm living in a van down by the river.
Foley. I got a Foley shirt.
Hey,
You do? Matt Foley.
I got one more for you. Paige Brockers from UConn, one of the greatest women basketball players. Well, we don't have that?
No.
Well, she had an NIL deal, and she got sneakers, like the top of the line sneakers, whatever one she was wearing for all her team. It was very fun to see the girls opening up
Let me
their
tell you
presents.
like this, since you want to bring up female basketball, I told you. That girl, Caitlin is something different, dog. Caitlin from Iowa, she had another bomb last night.
I love it,
At halftime, right at halftime, she had a shot.
You got to send those to me.
She should have shot from half court to make it nothing but net at halftime.
Amazing. I know what you're talking about now.
Caitlin from Iowa.
Oh my God.
She's different.
She's better than Steph Curry.
I ain't going that far.
don't go that far.
Yeah, I ain't kill me on that. But
Wow.
she's well, you know. Hold on.
Female side
to what Ryan says credit. Steph wasn't shooting from a half court in college. He had maybe a couple deep threes in college, but he was just nailing them in college. She's shooting from Steph Curry range consistently all season in college. You might be on to something with that.
A little bit of a smaller ball.
Telling you.
But for her, it's the same size. She's
Hey,
you gotta be careful now.
Unbelievable. Guys, I just want to thank everybody. Over 250 likes on YouTube. That is just incredible. And as now people watch the show today, whenever they want to watch the show, I'm sure that'll go up from there. But during the live show, to have over 250 likes, it is incredible. And we thank everybody on the YouTube chat. for that. Braylon?
Alex set me up. Yesterday, the Detroit Red Wings started brothers Jamel and Giovanni Smith. First set of brothers since Frank and Pete Mahalik in 1969 to play for the Red Wings together, and they were the first set of African-American brothers to ever play on the same team in the NHL. And it's just love. We're talking about Black History Month and just shedding light on some memorable sports moments and some memorable sports history heroes. And those heroes are Willie O'Ree, first black player ever to play in the NHL for the Bruins. That would be the guy on the right if you're watching. The first stud of the NHL, however, was Tony McKechnie, first black star, played with the Rangers. I know you appreciate
Sabres
that.
first.
Sabres first, the Rangers, some other
And
teams.
his hockey sticker.
And then the first African-American or black player to get in the Hall of Fame was none other than Grant Fuhrer.
One of the best.
One of the best of all time. And you appreciate these individuals just for knocking doors down, man. Allowing black people to say, hey, you know what? I want to play hockey. Just like golf. You know, after Tiger. But you know who was first? Elder. Lee Elder was the first one. Now black kids can see themselves playing Tiger or golf, not Tiger. It's all about representation. Once you see it, you believe you can do it. Just like Barack Obama being president, now you have black kids aspiring to be the president. We appreciate you. It's the bottom line. This is Sam, Alex. That's my boy Armani over there. Shout out to Korey Woods who helped us today.
Yes, sir.
Big stand. And oh, by the way, Adam Schefter will be in the building on Thursday. Shefty will be in the building on Thursday. Can't wait to do that interview, as well as tomorrow, former teammate and Detroit Lion and Super Bowl winner with the Patriots, Damian Woody, former teammate Big Woody, will be here tomorrow. So a hell of a show tomorrow, hell of a show today, and we got Shefty on Thursday. That's it. We're out of here.
Nice job, Ray.
Good job.
Appreciate you
Braylon
guys,
freaking Edwards.
That's what we do, baby.
Boom.
Old friend Chris Farley. Oh my God.